Right, we're going to go over a bunch of unicrons here to make sense for, this is my masterpiece one. Gotta forgive me. This is how it looks this way. Let's start with this. Here's the beginning. 1997, the ultracron. I still got the original very first ultracron, so I just copied this one that I made so many times. And he reaches your 27, 30 inch mark, 25, you know what I mean? So he's about 27 here. Right. Anyways, so like these are how I made the wings for him back then, and they just unfold with the rubber thing, and they had these spikes. And what was really cool, I still even have them. Check this out. Little tiny mini Galvatron. He's in half ship mode. I don't know where his head is. There's the eyes from the templates from the original one. And a little hot rod it came with that transformed. All the little parts and pieces are in here because it fell apart because of this hot glue gun stick melt thing. It'll just fall apart after, but it's good to, make the prototype to get going. So they had like little, look at this, even little guns. Look at, there's the little gun I made for the Galvatron. And there's this little end piece, and then I folded and twisted up. I don't know, his head will be in here somewhere. I'm just not going to get into it because but anyways, yeah, the idea was that they had little holes so they'd sit on the spikes when it was in planet mode on this Ultra. So anyways, they yelled at me and told me I couldn't call it Unicron because it wasn't Hasbro. So I switched the name to ultracron, and that's when I upgraded the parts to like this. So as you can see, like here's the side leg. So this has got all the transformation. Here's where the teeth are for the planet. It opened up this way, and there were like skirts and everything flipped around from the inside. So I made this face, and I carved it up and made a mold for this one. So it's supposed to be imitating that one. Let's see what you guys are looking at. There's the first one I made. That's just made by hand. So when I made them, they would look like this. So I just, make it by hand out of a piece of sheet plastic. And so that's supposed to be a copy of that one. This one that guy didn't like, apparently. So, but I thought this was actually better than the original one, eh? What do you think? Huh? No, anyways, this is the one I molded up. I don't know where the jaw is because the jaw opened, and then that was made for lead lights, and you put those little batteries in there from McDonald's toys if you ever needed to replace them. That's how it was way back then. And this is the original helmet made out of plastic that I made and carved, and this is what I made to mold up. And here's one of the reject molds because it was a bit wide, but it says right in it, there's the date on it, way back then. So I carved that in there when I molded that up. And I didn't know they made all these little Armada toys, so I made these little plug-ins for them on there. And I made these, made them really nice and stuff. And they're basically the same as those, the original ones, but molded nice ones instead of having to make all the stuff. But people were happy with that. They paid me $600 for that back then, 97. So as you can see, the wings were hard to get stuff and make, and it was easier to make this stuff and it looked better. So I used this, but we can't even get these parts to make this stuff anymore. That rod you can't get no more. The rubber stuff, but that's how it works. So I wanted to make something better, so I made this masterpiece one. It's the same, that, and this one are the same templates that are these cardboard templates I make and fold up, but I can't find them. I'm still looking for another box of Unicron. See, here's the Unicron horns for the big helmets, and there's a rejected one. There's the top and bottom. Where the face and the templates are for that, I don't know. I'm looking, there's the old Optimus Prime. But as you can see, this got really technical. These all flip over and stuff, and then there's teeth underneath them to become the planets. It opens up, does the same, but it's more technical. And there's the back plate, so this comes around and covers that over. And then there's your tooth there. Comes around, clips into that hole. Sorry if I had two hands. You get the idea. It clips in there, and then your big tooth for the planet comes out. So that's how that works. And here's your kneecaps, so they're more, now your teeth fold in and out. See, like on the original ones back here that I designed, they just simply flipped over, and that was that. Just went over your knee. There's your teeth mode, and this plate came out and hooked together with the other knee to make the teeth for the planet. And then on this one I made it a bit different, so it had a hole. And this one I made them a bit different, so it flipped over. Then I made this big huge one with metal plates and stuff. It was like, look at that, isn't that nice? That's how I'd want it. But I wanted it metal, so little diaclone men sticked on them all over the place. The idea was to make it like these are the two, the back of that Armada unicron cut in half, because it makes that same angle. You know what I'm talking about. We want all the angles to be right. We want everything to do it. So the door would open up here, so you can put your mini galvatron and hot rod in there, because that's where they fought, was in this part of the leg. I've researched this unicron for 10 years, Fido Drewy, how he designed things. This is even a huger one with the metal hands and all the hydraulics in it. And look at there. How big do you think that unicron? There's my hand to that hand. So this one's about 5 feet tall, 5.5 feet tall. And there's the feet for it. Just huge, and they all fold up to do the, this one's a good example. See, we all know how these are supposed to fold in for the movie and stuff. It gets really technical. They sort of do that on the original ones, but they're all on one plate here. So the whole plate just folds under. And they actually help hold it on the hip here to keep the planet mode. But these are the old ultracron ones, and as you can see, yeah, these are the last ones I saved, but they're they've gotten really dry and brittle and dusty. And see, this one's even got the bottom on it broken. So for me to do this, I just have to Dremel all these lines in a plate and then re-glue all this stuff and make them by hand. And that's no problem. It's the same as sort of this in a way. And these things are just, they're ugly. Look, these ones are even broke. So I'll make new ones of this stuff. And I don't know, I might use this helmet. And I haven't even got to the parts that I originally made that are in this box. So I'm going to made these for click joints, so it can go click, click, click this way and click, click, click that way. And they're actually for next drop ship, those ones. And that's how big of the planet I wanted it to go to, because these ones here will go to a planet that's a bit smaller. And here's other templates I made earlier. See, there's what Fido Drewy's unicron. It's really hard to see that eyebrow piece in his face there, and everybody always forgets it. It's like there's the new covers I made for you to replace those ugly broken ones and stuff. But it's not like, these are not proper. We didn't have the picture back then. We know what's properly on top up there is this stuff, and it's like this. Look at this, isn't this nice? So it turns around when you're in, goes into planet mode. This turns out of the way. This becomes a crater. Still not painted, but that's supposed to be a crater in the planet. Isn't that cool? That's how harsh this masterpiece one is. Just tons and tons and tons of detail. Like, look at the elbow. Looks no big deal. It's got mass fold up. Anyways, this is how I'm going to do the face. Same as this face. It should unclip here. Then the helmet should unclip from the face plate here. So I can do this with one hand. Give me a sec here. Oh. And then you can see the eyebrow lid on it. It's so nice, eh? And I took that exact, so that's exactly how it is in the show. It took me a long time to get the angles right, and they should have just done this from play. It's a bit narrow there. It should be a bit wider at that angle. But those are all the proper angles for Unicron's face. I studied and studied and studied. And the helmet has a wire, a copper wire, as you can see. It goes through the horns, so you can bend it with one hand to give it its form. It opens up, had hydraulics on the neck, and it opened up here. See, there's the... Let me get over here, sorry. There's the head plate. So it opened up, it had one hinge here for that. There's another hinge here. And once you got inside it, that was the planet mode. Oh, there we go. And there was your the acid bath that dropped into that's down in the center here. And there's the elevator. This actually would pop up. It just needs to come up out of the way. And you can hook little mini cons onto there. And that's my masterpiece here that I got. But, you know, this thing takes like 3 months to make, so that's why I want $3,000 for this masterpiece one. And I only expect to have $1,000 a month while I'm working on it, which you can pay me $500 every 2 weeks. Some people can afford that. This is a new template I made. that I have yet to get to, that is the bigger size that I think our planet should look like and be more beefy and looking. I made these for the smaller one. So it's up to you. See, I've already made, this is a part for the shoulder, so I can take that apart. There's a helmet part. This part is a ring part. So there's a lot to figure out. There's a chest plate part that I cut for there, but as you can see, it's small, or too big for this, right? It's pretty close, because the ones I was using before in this were smaller. As you can see, the original ones were quite smaller. So the new ones I want to upgrade to this bigger size. So this whole thing is a bit small, so I'm just going to remake it. Like you see, these are a little bit bigger once that goes. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what's going on with your unicron. These are all the little parts. They look like nothing. They've been cut up, made for stuff. Like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Doesn't that look ugly? That was the face I was making that was a more... See if I can get this together. Oh, it went this way. So these were parts of the helmet. And they came down like that. Well, I just can't do it with one hand. It's really hard. It's really wicked looking. I was trying to make it look more modern. Just give me a sec there, see if you can sort of understand how that would look. And that's the helmet I was making for it. But it became too big, and these are the new kneecaps I was making. I already showed those. So those go up here, and the way they work is so when they goes into its planet mode, it's really easy for the flip over for the teeth on the back now instead. Was the idea, whether I can use it. And that was the brow part that went across it. We're just trying to make something more modern. So these are old templates from old ones. There's the jaw finally. And there's the templates for the head for that big one down there. Looks thrash. See, like the eyes were supposed to be onto an electronic piece. When you opened it up, there was a mechanic in there with a turn thing back here, so it loosened or tightened the horns to make them battle thing. This was supposed to open up. There's supposed to be just the old computer chip things that I put in them to make them look cool. And there's the mouth hole, and the idea was the jaw made a double horn, and you turned it around the other way, and then you had the flat square chin. And this was supposed to open up for some missiles to fire out of it, so it went and missiles came out. And I was trying to do it in that one when I'd made it out of plastic, but just so many features. And end off from 1984. The only ball close thing to unicron you could get was this thing. And I'll end it off that, and then had a little quartz watch inside. And look how ugly the face was. You can imagine this looked like. Give me a sec here. Oh. One sec. And so I'm missing a box with the, isn't that ugly? The Radio Shack balls around. That's the only thing you get for Unicron back in 1984. I made this CD, and it has all the Unicrons from 1966 from the Marvel comics and how he progressed to Fidoduri's hands. And when I got that on my website, if anybody wants to check that out, ton of robots. And as a backup, I have this one, so it's got all the joints in it already made. So there's the same joints, they're the same size. So I could basically use them if I really need to. There's some fingers I can take if I need them. So these are the fingers we want. And that one's fine, but this one has a broken finger. No good. But this was from a Megatron thing I made. It was pretty cool. And when you're in a mad rush, it took me all day, because all of these were all mixed into those two boxes. So it's taking me all day to sort all of this. And I got to find some boxes to put that one all in his pieces in there, and put him in all his pieces, blah, blah, blah. There's the rundown on the Unicrons. I have a little bio Unicron that's supposed to go inside the chest of this guy. I don't know where he is, but he transforms into an asteroid, because at first he was a, where's the CD? He's a bee. No, I don't have the pictures in there. There's the codes for them if you look online and put those codes for the patents, I believe, and stuff. And that's the progression of the years and what happened right up till this Armada Unicron came out, and then things went crazy. And there's my copy. I've had it online 3 times. Anyway, I've got a barge to do for instructions for him because he's not sure how this back piece goes. See how it's tight there right down to the edge? See, there's where the stairs are. In case I don't get to it, you can just look at the back of this one. See, there's some clips there in the corner. So that's how far this piece, so when that R2's drink command center should be right back here, right? You can see it from underneath. See that engine? You can put it right to the end. So you should see how this is clipping here. This is what you probably might be having a problem with, is this clip goes under here, and these bars on yours go underneath here to hold it more. This one, no. Fine. So I'm going to make a video for the instructions with this one for you guys. There's our way lengthy video.